What is going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to talk about how to accept yourself, because accepting yourself is very important in order for us to live a very happy life. Like, without accepting yourself for who you are, for who you want to be, for example, you're not able to progress or turn yourself into that person. That means by we reject ourselves. Can you think of, if you're rejecting yourself, that means that you don't love yourself, right? When you don't love yourself enough, you are not going to change. You are not going to do what you're supposed to do to become the person that you want to become, because you don't accept that person as you. Even though for those that are living your life right now, like, there's nothing wrong and you go on your life, but have you ever asked yourself that, do you like this life? Do you love the things that you are doing now? Right? We often never ask that question, and years just go by and we never accepting ourselves for who we are. And that means that maybe we don't love our life. We don't love the way we react to the outside world. But we never address that. We never ask that question. And being honest to ourselves, our heart. Right? When we don't honest to ourselves and our heart, life will be difficult. Just like we are trying to running away from ourselves, from being ourselves. Right? That is hard, right? It's like you are pressing the acceleration pedal and the brake pedal at the same time. Like, you want to excel, you want to become better, but yet you are pressing the brake at the same time, and you strain yourself. You feel tired, you feel worn out because of that, because you're trying to move forward and you hold yourself back. Like, the hold yourself back means that you're not accepting who you are. Like, this more applying to that person that want to grow, want to become a much different person in a few years. Like, they have like a goal or the things that they want to achieve, but then they don't accept that self because it's not familiar, right? It's different, it's uncertain, and they find out that they can't pass themselves to like trust in that progress, that they can achieve that. So they don't accept the fact that they can be better, they can become happier. Right? So how to accept yourself, even for who you are, or much better, who you want to be, or where you want to be in your life. So by accepting yourself for who you are, you need to do the work on yourself that are something like this. You have to ask yourself, is this who I want to be? Or am I on the way to become who I want to be? And most importantly, will I change myself to become that person? Am I willing to do that? Like, the question that we often don't ask is the answer that can move us forward towards acceptance. Because why? We are afraid of asking that question. And why? Because we have to decide when we ask the question. When we got the answer, there's no way to run away from the answer, right? That's why, like, our brand will brought us into asking important question. Will I willing to contribute to that growth? Right? We have to, accumulate all those courage. So we must have the courage. We must have the bravery. We must be brave to ask. Because the question always comes with an answer. You know the answer. Everyone knows the answer that can help them to progress, help them to become who they are or who they want to be. It's the difficulty of acceptance to ask that question. I think about that. Because most difficult question is very hard to solve. Like, you feel afraid to solve that problem. That's why we running away from asking that question at first. Because we don't want to face it. We don't want to have to do that work. But if we never ask that question, like, we are just running away. We are just wasting time. So how many years can you waste? How many months can you waste? And that is depend on you. So today, my goals is to let you know that you have to ask that question. Right? Get that courage, get that braveness that you have in you. Pull that all out, because you need them to ask this question. Because the answer, like, often challenge you. This is what I have to say and need to say. It often challenges you to a degree of become uncomfortable, become afraid of doing it. But without asking, you'll never get there. Right? There's 0% that you're going to become the person that you wish to become, right? The goal that you want to achieve. So that is the first part of how to create that acceptance to become the future self, the self that you prefer, the self that you want to be. The second thing about this acceptance is know that there's always challenge that come into your life if you make a different decision, right? To become another person, a new person, the person that you prefer. There's always challenge. There's always, you need to decide something different to become that person that is different, right? It comes with the package. We can't run from it. So to accept that challenge, and maybe sometimes difficulty to, maneuver around your life because you have to become a different person. To knowing that there's a challenge and prepare yourself for it, it's also very important. Right? Because we need to have like a concept, like, when I become this ideal self, what will I experience in my life? Or what problem I will need to solve? Or how will I need to handle certain problems in my life? Different from the past version of me. How can I do that? That is through training and repetition. So without training and repetition, without changing your thoughts, your feelings, when you encounter some situation, you will drift back into being your old self. Right? So that's why it's important to know what you are signed up with. Right? But without the sacrifice, there's no victory. Right? When people go into a world, like country go into the world, there must be a win side and the lose side. One side must give out first. Right? So you don't want to be that person that give out on your goals, on building your ideal self. You want to be staying at your lane and achieve that day by day. By the decision, by the feelings that you feel, right? They all need to change. They all need to reprogram. So here comes the third point. We need to reprogram ourselves after we know that, okay, this is what I need to do to become that ideal self, to become that person. So now we have to do the work. Right? We have to reprogram ourselves. So I give a short example for this. So if you are being triggered by people cutting you off in the traffic, so ideal self will step in now. So you want to become a new self. Your ideal self will step in, take control and say, there's nothing to be worried about. There's nothing to be angry about. I will handle this differently because I am the new person. And that means that you make a different decision. You're not being angry anymore. Like the outside cars, the people can't really trigger you to jump out of your new self to reach back to your old self. Like you're not going back to become your old self. So this kind of reprogramming have to be in your daily life, in every decision that you make. So one thing to do that I do is realize the decision that I make every day. If I have the tendency of running away from problem, if I have a tendency of being angry, easily triggered, or if I have a tendency of not wanting to handle the issue on the spot, I procrastinate because I feel that it's very hard. I will reprogram those thoughts when it pops up. It's like, okay, this sign is like, I want to run away from it. But now I want to take charge. My higher self is taking over. I'm going to handle this right away. I'm going to having those difficult conversations that I avoid. Or I will control myself and not being triggered by other people, their opinion, and what I feel they think about me. I'm going to feel that fullness, completeness in myself without needing another person to validate my feeling. Because there's no need of that. When you're trying to change yourself, there must be something that is unuseful in your life that you have to get rid of. Either the important part that I can say is like the emotion, the feelings, or the trying to run away. Like all those things are bad things that we need to get rid of. If we want to ascend, we want to become better in life. Because we often run away from those problems, right? Because we don't want to have that feeling. But it's normal to don't want to feel sad. It's normal to not wanting that emotion, like that headaches. But without stepping in and handle that situation, we are not solving that problem. Right? This is the point that it's very, very important. But I always, before this, I always run away. Because I think by ignoring that issue or that problem or that feelings, they will go away. They will, maybe for a while, maybe for a month or two, and they will come back again, right? This means that there's something that you need to do to, progress in your life. If you don't solve that issue or problems, you will never level up, and you will be facing the same problem over and over again until you complete your task, right? Your job, this is your job. You have to get over it once and for all, or you're going to face it later on, right? The universe, God is going to test you. Right? There's no running away when you're still alive. That's what I think. But when you really get over those situations or overcome that challenge by not running away, you realize that you have that release, right? Believe me, I've been there. When I stopped running away, I fully embrace the situation and having that difficult conversation or solving that difficult challenge or decision that I have to make, I release myself from that problem. Because there's no more problem when you face it right away and solve it. Right? That is common sense. When you face that issue, when you're having that difficult question, there's no more misunderstanding. There's no more things that you run away from. Like it's like a debt. If you don't pay that person or pay your loans, you have to go back and solve that problem. Like there's no running away from it. Because when you engage in that difficulty or problem or challenge, you find the solution. Like I want to make this easy. Find this solution that you both can move on, or you can move on from your emotion. When you can move on, that means that this is done deal. Like you pay the debt, everything is done, and you can move on with your life. Like there's nothing that will come back to you for you to, handle this situation again. But you have learned how to do this. But this is the point, and this is most important point. So next time, if there's an issue like that, it becomes easy for you to accept and to move on or to handle that situation. And that's why this all comes together as like make you a whole person, make you a more mature person, a more reliable person in total, because you are becoming the person that you want to be. Imagine the person that is your higher self, the person that you want to be or you aim to be. He or she must be capable of handling situation, having a calm mind, and can maneuver around life easily, right? So that adds to the things that I say just now. So when you did those 3 things, your life will change, and you will find that you will shape yourself, and slowly, or each and every one of us is different. Some people will become like fast track themselves to success or to more happiness, because like all of us want different thing in our life. All of us is having a different thought about success or happiness, right? So people will reach there faster, some people slower. It takes me myself around half year to really change my approach or my thoughts and feelings towards the things that I see every day, because I know that this world that we are looking at is a reflection of our inner self. It reflects our thoughts and our feelings to people that we meet or met, or the work that we do, right? The reality itself is the reflection of our feelings. If we feel bad for ourselves, if we feel sucks, right, we are programming ourselves into meeting those people, those energy, right? Because hate will attract hate, gossip will attract gossip, and positivity will attract positivity. This is like the law of the universe, the law of attraction. So I want to end this video by something to think about. Think about the creator, right? Our creator. How is he in person? Like what kind of creator he is? Like he is love, he is abundant, he is everything that is beautiful. Like that's why he made beautiful things for us, and he make us like him. Like, so if we are like him, the best version of ourselves is also love, also abundant. Like, so is our birthright to have abundance, have love, have wealth, because it is the creator who create everything for us. We are entitled for it, but in order to get it, we can't be negative, we can't be selfish or not loving. Like, we must have what he have to have what he want to have for us. Alright guys, if you like this video, please help me by like and also subscribe to my channel, or comment down below what you have learned for this session. Alright, if it's useful for you, share it with your friend and help them to discover, to find out who they really are and who they can become if they change their mind, if they ascend to become a higher self that is loving and kindness and abundance. Right? So I'll see you in the next one. Peace.